very good evening and welcome to our live broadcast. My guest tonight, former Laikipia Member of Parliament, served as Minister for Agriculture before his ouster in January of last year. He's now the founder and leader of the Service Party. We speak to Mwangi Kiunjuri tonight, one of the upcoming leaders in Mount Kenya region. Find out why he fell out with his party leader, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and why he says the future is in parties such as his. Marisha Witi is with me on sign language tonight. Let's begin with our top story. Mobile phone service provider Safaricom PLC has recorded a whopping 37 billion shillings in net profit. This marks a 12% increase in profit after tax at a time that you have been saddled with a high cost of living. But the numbers don't just stop there. The telco's flagship products, that's M-Pesa and Fuliza, racked in the highest revenues for the company, as our business reporter Brian George Otieno now explains more, or just how Kenyans are slowly but surely sliding into a Fuliza Nation.
Every hour, Safaricom is advancing 56 million Kenya shillings on its Fuliza platform. This translates to about 1.34 billion Kenya shillings per day. This emerged as the telecommunications firm reported its half-year results, which stood at a whopping 37 billion Kenya shillings. And as Safaricom is basking in profits after Kenyans' appetite for soft loans skyrocketed amid tough economic times, the overdraft service is one to watch. According to the firm's latest trading results, Kenyans borrowed 1.34 billion Kenya shillings daily through Safaricom's Fuliza service. Let's break it down further. So between April and September alone, Safaricom gained 700,000 new Fuliza users. Now the service has 1.7 million active users. Total value of disbursements via the service, popularly called Fuliza, hit 242.6 billion Kenya shillings in just 6 months, up from 149.4 billion shillings that had been disbursed in a similar period last year. This symbolized 62.4% rise compared to the same time last year. Safaricom introduced Fuliza service in 2019 and has become popular among Kenyans in meeting essential needs such as shopping, rent, and supporting friends and family when there is no sufficient money in their M-Pesa wallets. The telco says the average ticket size is at 375.80 shillings. But the borrowing per individual could be higher, since customers are allowed to take several overdrafts before repaying, subject to the approved overdraw limit. The increased Fuliza overdrafts earned Safaricom 2.8 billion Kenya shillings as revenue, being 32.2% more than the 2.1 billion Kenya shillings earned in the preceding similar period. Safaricom charges Fuliza customer a one-off 1.03% interest and a daily administrative fee that depends on the outstanding balance. The Fuliza fee starts from 2 shillings per day for 100 shillings overdraft and goes up to 30 shillings per day for 2,500 shillings and above. Safaricom disclosures show that Fuliza had a repayment rate of 99% during the review period, meaning that 240.2 billion Kenya shillings of the 242.6 billion shillings was still unpaid. And while Fuliza steals the show as Safaricom's cash cow, its predecessor M-Shwari is slowly losing ground among customers. M-Shwari loans dipped by 8.6% to 43.4 billion, while users shrank by 900,000. The average loans on M-Shwari was 6,047 shillings in the same period. Safaricom earned 900 million shillings from M-Shwari. And as the giant telco continues to mint profits, it's optimistic over its intended plans to venture into Ethiopia.
At the time, we hadn't won the telecommunication license in Ethiopia. The outlook of the economy has improved, with Kenya staging partial recovery from a depressed performance last year. In view of this and expansion to Ethiopia, we expect earning before interest and tax, as you can see on the screen, in financial year 2022 to be in the range of 97 to 100 billion, and capex, which is capital expenditure, to be in the range of Kenya shillings 70 to 73 billion, inclusive of Ethiopia.
The firm is keen to spend around 200 billion Kenya shillings to kickstart its operations in Ethiopia. Brian George Otieno, KTN News, Nairobi.
Well, we are all guilty. Borrower's paradise, a Fuliza Nation. We are all borrowing. I bet you're also borrowing. Let's take a look at the paper tomorrow. The Bold newspaper, The Standard, because only the bold speak the truth. Here is your headline tomorrow. A country living on Fuliza and gambling. That's the headline. 1.34 billion shillings was the amount Kenyans borrowed per day from Fuliza between April and September 2021. How many are you? Active borrowers, 1.7 million, and of course 22.9 billion. This is the amount borrowed through KCB's M-Pesa. 15.9% drop from last year, with users declining to around 500,000. That's the headline for the Bold newspaper. However, we still have other stories, like the story we'll be telling you next. DP convoy stoned. DP convoy stoned. Police say he was tipped off. He was told not to go to that area, but he still went. Raila calls for political tolerance amid that. And of course, we have other stories for you, including state to blame for what's happening in our universities. All those stories, find them in your Bold newspaper tomorrow, because only the bold speak the truth. Away from that, let's now move on to other stories also making headlines tonight. The recent reforms announced by the Kenya Medical Supplies Agency Board of Directors is eliciting mixed reactions. Now, the Kenya Institute of Supplies Management has